Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Alrighty. 1, 2. Vacuuming begins as a means of audible activity while my shadows move them in front and behind me to the side. Here you go, to the other side. And the impossible light activity while the fake sun is still over the building, which I'm going to show you inside. And while demons are pacing in and out of these rooms, psychopaths doubling as housekeepers surrounding, that's criminal surveillance. Like I put in the writing in the document, that's impossible light activity. Okay, and my shadow is also appearing on the ceiling, which is also impossible light activity. Violent sex offenders engage in conduct that these housekeepers and the demons who are staying at the hotel are engaging in together. And that is what you'll see in the document entitled Holiday Inn - the People. Because there is no natural environment that consists of any sun being capable of being in the state anywhere over in any other city, street, or state, including Florida, Miami, Florida even, where the entity is under the light source where they are pacing in and out of the hotel rooms around me, specifically rooms 426, 428, which is relevant positioning. They are repeatedly closing the doors over and over and over and over and over again with regard to the very words that I type in this phone. This is showing the environment where that stalking with audible activity is underway. This is supposed to be the sunlight. You know that this isn't sunlight because of its position on the inside underneath, first of all, closed blinds into the building on the floor, crawling away from the window. This is impossible light activity. This is a reference. This is reality of the spiritual realm. This is demonic. It's impossible light activity. It's also impossible that the sun would be in the same position, which you already know. It is 2:10 p.m. and the fake sun was over this hotel building as I captured it at 9 o'clock in the morning. 10, 11, 12, 1, 5 hours later. That's how you are also understanding the intentional engagement in audible activity creation by violent sex offenders who act with impunity. This is also impossible light activity. Not only do I have two shadows that are appearing on the ceiling while the blinds are closed, and that's supposed to be the sunlight, which you already know is not sunlight. This is multiple layers of breaking down the criminal engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring, which is a very serious federal offense for an innkeeper such as Holiday Inn to engage in, both through the demons who are on the property engaging in this impunity. That's called crossing a path, and they're doing so under the same fake sun over the same hotel that you saw this morning. That's the intentional engagement in a sex offense. Third party license 9NKX029. That's P.O.C. In doing so with regard to the pattern of conduct, knowledge about what I'm doing as I do it. That's not a coincidence that a demon is already present in the path, that the objective is to maintain movement in this engineer light that's not sunlight. I stood right in this parking lot and the demon with SKYTECH was group stalking in the path with the method of light on the vehicle, and he was engaging in the gang-like conduct because I was documenting the other demon that was stalking in the path, openly engaging in surveillance, so another gang member engages in the same, because the gang member's mentality is that if everyone else is doing it around the target individual, there is nothing suspicious about it. The entire entity that is demon possessed is going to be prosecuted by that group mind think conduct, which is speaking to the demons who are targeting an American citizen and are exposing their condition and their criminal engagement in group stalking. The sun is not going to be over the same building like you saw this morning at 9 o'clock. What is speaking to the maintenance of this environment, which is that light source outside of the building does not create your shadow on the inside of the building. It's not going to create any sunlight on the inside of the building. And demons who are sex offenders who you see group stalking, I surmise these are not natural born citizens either, and they are demonstrating through their criminal engagement in a violent sex offense on behalf of the state that they don't even want to stay in this country. I'm going to criminally prosecute them, and they are then going to be deported. All right, the demons are Holiday Inn. The workforce is demon possessed. All right, and they are group stalking by staying in the hotels, and they are also group stalking by working at the hotel. The entity is obsessively using the hotel room doors as a means of closure. As I open up the door to document a sex offender, the entity is then using the vacuum. You understand what that is in engineer light. That's a demon that's pacing in the specific environment. The entity is maintaining an ongoing chorus also while my panties are down. Sex offenders keep you under surveillance in the restroom. Sex offenders keep people under surveillance, men and women, inside of your hotel space. They do so with regard to a demonic environment, maintaining ongoing noise that's amplified, heard through the ceilings, heard through the walls, and ongoing slamming of hotel room doors, okay? Which has nothing to do, by the way, with a coincidence while they do so. Demons do so with regard to knowledge of what you're doing and what you're saying. And the more that I'm inside of this hotel room, where the fake sun is remaining directly over me, and it's remaining here after 4 p.m., as a matter matter of documentation, the sex offenders who you are seeing that are in the parking lot pacing all around under a fake sun, that whole community is demon possessed. Every single business establishment, they're engaging in a statewide system, and it's a satanic system of surveillance. They're group stalking and also engaged in federal stalking, and they're doing so while the fake sun remains over this particular hotel room that I'm inside of, which is exactly what you saw at 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody that's around me inside of this hotel and outside, they're all demons who are pacing around in the sky space as well. Everybody that works at Holiday Inn is going to federal prison, every single last one. And they are also worthy of it. The entity, the more that I document, which is speaking to the mental illness, the demon possessed and the violent sex offenders who are demon possessed, who need to be subject to mental examinations for that mental illness, which is exposed and no longer closeted, targeting an American citizen, and then doing so more. They increase in the violence, they increase in the terrorism, they increase in that harassment while they are monitoring the evidence that's going to be submitted in court against them. You are mentally ill while you do that, okay? Because no sane person would act to their own demise. You have a population of people that engage in the same exact pattern of conduct, all right, on an ongoing basis. There are also sex offenders who are mentally ill, targeting one person together. And you are also mentally ill. I just want to be clear. When you are facing what is the loss of your citizenship, you're going to be deported, and there is nothing that's going to support your remaining in this country. Federal group stalking and monitoring is the immediate basis for deportation after you sit in federal prison. Every housekeeper, every front desk clerk, every supervisor like Ray, they're all group stalking under the specific environment, which is the intentional engagement in criminal elements of monitoring. And while I capture this video, while you're looking at my shadow that's appearing on the ceiling, which has nothing to do with, again, impossible light activity you see, all right? It fills this hotel room, and that is concentrated light. That's all that is. The shadow of the furniture is appearing upright, and my shadow is appearing enlarged on the ceiling. Okay, this is where demons are stalking. Demons are engaging in what the elements of monitoring, audible activity, pacing in and out of hotel rooms, even under the guise of housekeeping, just going around slamming the hotel room doors over and over again, pacing in the parking lot, driving right by as group stalking in plain sight. The people that state are going to federal prison, and everybody in relevant position. All of these venues, they're all going to be prosecuted. This is the state of California. The state of California is going to be subject to a massive prosecution, civilly and criminally, while they're engaging in a massive sex offense, keeping one person under surveillance. And this is the work of Satan, okay? This is capturing the impossible that the sun would be over the same building, but yet you're looking at an arrest underway by Miami-Dade of Tyreek Hill in Miami, Florida, and you are looking at the light source that's directly over them, because it's not possibly the sun. It's not moving. It remains over me, which is the body of my evidence, speaking to the exposure for what is state surveillance, which is satanic. And that's what the state of California is engaging in. All right, this is P.O.C. This is documenting ongoing harassment and terrorism of the entity. They're not only engaging in what is group stalking me, obsessed with my genitalia in doing so. I'm not going to mince words with the sexual violence that the state's engaging in, and I'm also not going to change or edit it because you need to understand it needs to be recognized that these are the very sex offenders that are engaging in acts of sexual violence that you recognize. Well, this is sexual violence while you're keeping a woman under surveillance and doing so with impunity. That impunity is afforded by the whole entity. It's absolutely unlawful also. And you're recognizing the environment where it's intentionally underway by a whole population. Everybody on Palmdale Road, every single last one of these demons are group stalking. And they know exactly what's being stated about them. And they're intentionally, what is a fake sun that's remaining over me. All right, that is the evidence of demon possession and the public entity's malicious engagement in targeting American citizens. This is P.O.C. It's currently 2:17 p.m.